what's happened in the Middle East has brought huge attention to the conversation here around protest, freedom of speech, and in particular around rising levels of anti-Semitism. You said in May it was a national emergency, anti-Semitism on schools and on university campuses. But Jewish students we've spoken to in the last couple of days have told us they're still scared. Yeah. So what are you doing about it? Has what you said in May made any difference?
So what we have now in terms of university campuses is further action that universities can take following changes that the regulator, the Office for Students, has made. But what I'm also setting out today is more funding, more support around training for staff and for students to tackle this poison of anti-Semitism. We have seen an unacceptable increase in anti-Semitism in recent times in our country. I've had those same conversations with British students, with British young people and their families, including in the last week following the terrible events that we saw in Manchester. And what I heard loud and clear is that in many cases we see Jewish young people feeling that they need to conceal their identity, that on campus Jewish students don't feel safe, and often parents worrying about sending their children to university. We cannot accept that. There can be no place for it. And that's why I'm being clear with university vice-chancellors that alongside the funding that we're putting in place to provide training for staff, and particularly those working on security and on student welfare, to educate around anti-Semitism and how to protect students, there can be no place for harassment and intimidation. Universities can and must act on that. And the regulator, the Office for Students, has also been absolutely clear on that point.
But you have been talking about this for some months now, and in May you called it a national emergency. We've talked to student groups in the last couple of days, and the charity Stand With Us told us at one university, and we've been asked not to name it for safety reasons, a group of anti-Israeli students have compiled a list of Jewish students so they can be marked and then harassed. I mean, this has been happening for quite some time, and your £7 million you're talking about today, actually that money had already been announced. So do you accept that you should have done much more far earlier?
Well, the training I'm talking about in universities is just about to commence, and I have been doing a lot of work both in public and behind the scenes with Jewish community groups, with students and with university vice-chancellors, pushing them to do more. And where it comes to that specific case that you identified, I would encourage anyone with information like that to share it with the relevant university authorities, because there are disciplinary processes that universities will follow and they will take action against anyone engaged in that kind of abuse.